Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the NBA season postponement and what this could mean for the NBA. So, first of all, let's talk about why the NBA postponed the season. So, of course, as you guys might know, the coronavirus is the reason for the NBA postponing, the season. So, after Rudy Gobert got the coronavirus before the Oklahoma City game, or Oklahoma City Jazz game, they postponed the whole season, and they're asking many teams to test their players, and many players are being asked to self-quarantine. Players are not allowed to go into training facilities, and they are not allowed to congregate in groups. So, with this information, let's talk about what could happen because of this. So first of all, we know that Rudy Gobert has, kind of ruined some of the relationships with his fellow teammates because Rudy Gobert said that Donovan Mitchell said Rudy Gobert was being careless by, touching other people's stuff and touching the microphone, as you might have saw with that clip where he touches a bunch of microphones making a joke about the coronavirus. Of course, he had no malintention and no intention of hurting other people, but now, of course, that looks bad on him. And so, Donovan Mitchell is very frustrated with him. Now, for the team's sake, I do hope that they, can now become better friends again, and this is just a little hiccup, but you never know. This could really mean that this is the last season they play together, and this could really ruin their friendship. But we'll just have to wait and see. And I also want to talk about other things. So, as you might know, in the Western Conference, also with the Utah Jazz, the Portland Trailblazers will probably get Jusuf Nurkic back by the time that this postponement ends, because Adam Silver said it'll last about 30 days. And Jusuf Nurkic, when he comes back on the roster, I could see him making a big impact on this Portland Trailblazers team, and maybe could make a final playoff push. I don't know. The Grizzlies seem like a hard team to take over right now. They're very hot, and in my opinion, one of the better teams in the league. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with them. I also do think that um, Ja Morant will win the Rookie of the Year over Zion Williams. In my opinion, Zion hasn't played enough, and his team needs to surpass the Memphis Grizzlies to even have a chance at winning it. But personally, I think Ja has put on such a show and been such a good player and a great leader and led his team to the playoffs. In my opinion, they'll make it to the playoffs, and I can't give it to Zion, in my opinion, but we'll have to see what the voters decide. And finally, we'll go to the Eastern Conference, and in the playoffs, this will be interesting. Now, Giannis will have more time to rest, and of course, make that final push to maybe win 70 games, and that would be a big thing for the Milwaukee fan base, and it'd also be very big if you think about, just to confirm their spot at the 1 seed in the whole league and, really have a good home court advantage over the Lakers. I think that'd be very interesting. But if you also think now about the Brooklyn Nets, if they could possibly get back Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, depending on how long the season is postponed, they could have a playoff push from the 7th seed this year or the 8th seed, depending on where they end up. So that'll be very interesting. And I'd also like to jump back to the West and talk about the Lakers and the Clippers. So as you guys probably know, the Battle of LA. We saw when the Lakers played the Clippers and it was a Clippers home game, there was still more Lakers fans there than Clippers fans because they play in the same arena. So I think that's what the Clippers have in mind, and they don't really care about the home court advantage because they know the Lakers will automatically have it no matter what. So I do think, that the Clippers are a better team. They're a deeper roster, and they have, in my opinion, better stars. So LeBron is a great player, but once you get down from LeBron and AD, who else do you have on that team that can get you some buckets? And, really, Kyle Kuzma's off and on. I wouldn't bank on him. And so once you go to the Clippers roster, take away Kawhi and Paul George, you have Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Marcus Morris, Pat Bev can pop off. You have so many players that can just ascend to another level and just score so many points. So I do think it's going to be a hard task for the Lakers to beat them. But I really don't think that they'll play in the Western Conference Finals. I believe it'll be a second round game. So that'd be big because everybody was expecting an all LA Western Conference Finals. And also, another team that's a sneaky pick for me is the Dallas Mavericks. They're young, and we don't know exactly what to expect out of them once they get to the playoffs, but I'm expecting Luka Doncic to go to another level and lead that team at least to a second round push. I think that'd be very interesting to watch, and I'd love to see that personally. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about that as well. Also, I'd like to jump back to the Eastern Conference and talk about the 76ers. The 76ers are a great team to watch when they're at home, but a terrible team to watch when they're on the road. So, I've heard many people say different things about why, and I thought Max Kellerman had a really good idea of maybe, well, Joel Embiid has to load manage, and, he's going to do it on those road games when there's no crowd behind him. So, I thought that was a great reason, but we don't know the reason. So there's no specific reason that has been told to us by Joel Embiid or 76ers staff. So we'll have to see what comes out of this. But I really do think that they're a team that could make a push, maybe not super far, but if they're all healthy, I could see them going places. But also I could see them getting knocked out in the first round. The furthest I see them going is the Eastern Conference Finals, and the lowest, I think they could get knocked out in the first round personally, They, are really, some opponents they're really good against, and some opponents they're not. They're made to, destroy Giannis's Bucks, but when they've played the Heat and the Celtics, they've just looked outmatched sometimes. So I think it'll depend on once they get into the playoff schemes and once, the game is played in the half court instead of transitions. We'll have to see if they hold up. And I think it'll be a great NBA playoffs. And I can't wait for, to see this. But I get why the season has been postponed. We need to keep our players safe. And I see that why. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.